Hey y'all, what's better than store-bought yogurt? Homemade yogurt. Yeah, I finally got around to making the homemade yogurt video, which I will attach at the end of this video. I had got to where I was making homemade yogurt probably at least once a week, if not twice a week, because I eat it for snack and everything. So, with trying to finish up school there the last few weeks and stuff, I had not made any. I hadn't done anything. I hadn't really cooked. I didn't do anything. So, since school has been out for last week and this week, I have worked on getting stuff done that needed to be done. So I finally got around to doing the yogurt video today. Now, this is my last free week before next semester starts, but I think it'll be fun. I only have 3 classes. I actually went to go get my books this morning and found out 2 of the classes that I'm taking, because all my classes from here on out is all computer related classes. So this time I'm taking network security fundamentals maybe, and I forget what the other one is. I would have to look, but 2 of the classes requires no book. Awesome, money saver right there. And then the network security class had a study guide workbook and a regular book that was not required. It was suggested or recommended, but you didn't actually have to have it. But I went ahead and got it because I thought, with it being network security and stuff, I can go back if I need it for reference or anything. And plus, if I have the book to help study, that will be awesome. So I went ahead and got that. But hey, anytime I can save some money, I'm cool with that. So, not a whole lot going on today, y'all. It's supposed to rain after a while, and I'm going to shoot for 4 more miles today. I'm going to go try to find a pair of new shoes, because my shoes, they're finally to the point where they're just getting wore out on the inside, and of course I'm all about wearing something till I can't wear it anymore. Maybe I shouldn't be like that, but I mean, especially if I'm going to try to walk 4 miles several times a week now, because since I know I can do it, there's no excuses saying that I cannot do it. So, but I need to get some more decent shoes if I'm going to be walking that much. So, because I think that'll help with my back aching and stuff, the support, because my arches are all like flat, and some of these shoes, with these shoes getting wore out, not having any arch support, they're horrible. So, anywho, besides that, nothing else really going on. Have my 4th dietitian appointment coming up on Thursday, and 2 more months, y'all. 2 more months. I don't know what to think. I'm happy and sad at the same time. Not sad because I'm having surgery. I guess just because a happy kind of sad, maybe. I know that sounds absolutely ridiculous. No, I guess just because, I don't know, knowing that things are going to change. I mean, yeah, things are still the same in a way, but things are going to change. I mean, they say your body goes through so many different changes. Of course, you can't eat things that you could before. And I've already cut out on sugar and stuff for the most part. Now, I cheat a little bit. And that's why, watching some of these videos and all, people talk about having dumping syndrome for eating things that they're not supposed to. So, I guess if that happens, hey, well, I guess most of us will learn our lesson. I don't know. Sometimes you may want to be like, oh, I'm going to cheat a little bit, but I don't know. You know, I found also, like, because my big thing was sweets. I crave sweets a lot. And I have found, if I'm craving sweets really bad, if I eat a couple, like, of the Medjool, I think that's the name of them, Medjool dates or whatever they are, that takes the sweet craving away. They're pretty sweet. And I mean, I eat, you know, quite a bit of fruit and stuff, but even the fruit, you know, if you're craving sweets, the fruit doesn't really help that much, but the dates really do take that craving away from me. And I've also gotten to where, with pop, I've tried to cut out pop completely. I still do have it from time to time. I know once I have surgery here in a couple months, I won't be able to. But, you know, there's flavors like pop, whether you call it pop or soda. I call it soda sometimes I call it pop. I lived in the South for several years, grew up in the North. I've since moved back north, so I call it pop sometimes I call it soda pop. So whatever you call it, we all call it something different. And I know there will be disagreements on that, and some will say no, it's pop, and some's going to say no, it's soda. But anywho, if you like cherry cola, there's I think it's IBC brand, sugar-free packets that you put in your bottled water, and I find those at either Family Dollar or Dollar General. Both of those here where I live have those. So, I mean, that's awesome because, of course, there's no carbonation, but it tastes like flat cherry cola. Now, if you don't like flat cola, pop, soda, whatever you want to call it, then, you know, you may not like it because it does taste like flat soda. So, but I absolutely love it because I like flat soda. I'm the type of person that sometimes, if it's too carbonated, I will shake it up and actually make it go flat before I drink it. I know, I'm a weirdo, but hey, we all like different things. So, anyways, I want to stop talking your ear off, and we're going to get into the video of making the homemade yogurt. I will post below the recipe, so I hope you enjoy. Till next time, see y'all later. Bye. Alright, here we are in the kitchen. I'm covering this up just so it doesn't show the brand name. So for this recipe, what you're going to need is, you're going to need 4 cups total of whatever milk you're using. I like using 1% or skim. 1%'s better. Skim is even more thinner, makes more thinner yogurt. Makes a thinner yogurt. You're going to need to start off with, the first time you're making it, you're going to need 1 small container of fat-free Greek plain yogurt. Make sure this says it has active cultures in it. You're going to need non-fat dry milk. The non-fat dry milk is optional. The reason why I use it is because it thickens the yogurt. With using 1% or skim milk, your yogurt, if you don't use this, is going to be like a lot thinner and runnier. Which, I mean, it still tastes okay. But I like mine more like Greek yogurt, real thick. So you can use anywhere up to 2 cups of non-fat dry milk to help thicken your yogurt. I use a full 2 cups. Now, it does give it a little bit different taste than what store-bought yogurt tastes like using the non-fat dry milk, but it's not bad. I actually really like it. And like I said, you don't even have to use this if you don't want to. You're also going to need a candy thermometer to temp the milk. And I'm going to... what you need to do is, if you're using non-fat dry milk, is mix it real well with your milk while it's cold before you start heating all this stuff up. So I'm going to get this mixed up and in the pan, and I'll be right back. Alright, I got this in the pan, and I'm just mixing real well. You want to make sure it's mixed up real well. You don't want any lumps of that non-fat dry milk in there. And it'll bubble up some. But you just want to make sure it's good and mixed. So, alright, I think this is good and mixed. I'm going to get my thermometer put on here. Let's get our heat turned on. Well, maybe. What is up? There we go. Alright, so I am going to get the thermometer in here and I'll be right back. Alright, so we've got this all mixed up, got our fire going. You don't want your fire too high because you don't want to scald the milk at the bottom of the pan. You're going to need a candy thermometer. We're going to slowly raise the temperature of this until it gets to 180 degrees before we turn the heat off. Now, it is important that you get to 180 degrees. If you do not get to 180 degrees, it's not going to run your yogurt, but your yogurt will be like, I don't know how to explain it, it'll be like stringy almost in texture. And what happens is when you heat this milk to 180 degrees, as soon as it hits 180 degrees, it kills some kind of culture or something that's in the milk. I don't remember exactly the name of it or what it's called, but it kills that culture, and that's what makes it stringy if you don't kill that culture. Now, like I said, it doesn't hurt anything if you don't. It's just your yogurt's going to have a little bit different consistency, which makes it's like, do I want to eat this? Is something wrong with it? But it's actually not. So, if you ever turn out with stringy yogurt, you'll know what I mean by stringy. It's not like, I don't know how to explain it other than actually seeing it. So, alright, we're just going to slowly bring this up to 180, and I shall be back as soon as we get to 180 degrees to show you what to do next. Stir, stir, stir. You don't have to constantly stir, but I mean, you want to stir quite a bit because you don't want that to stick to the bottom. And I usually always end up having some burn to the bottom or stick to the bottom. I try to avoid that. Let's see what we're at. We are, I don't know if you can see that or not. We are right at, that's the 200 mark, so we are right at 280 right now. So, I'm going to, let me double check. Yep, we are at 280. Sorry about the camera angle. I really need to get me a tripod and a decent camera. So, okay. Let me get this moved over to the sink, and I'll show you what we're going to do next. Okay, so you do not have to do this. This is totally optional. You can take it off the heat and let it cool completely by itself, or you can put it in a sink of cold water to help the cooling process along. I help the cooling process along because I don't have much patience to sit here and wait and wait and wait. And I mean, even this way, it still takes probably 15-20 minutes. Now, if you add ice to this water, it'll go a lot quicker. And what I do is I just stir every little bit and just watch the temperature. We're going to watch this until it gets, oh, you can't see that. It's like, anyways, we are going to let this cool until it gets down to between 100 and 110 degrees. So as soon as this gets cooled down to between 100 and 110 degrees, I'll be back for the next step, y'all. Alright, we have cooled down to about 110 degrees. So what our next step is going to be is we're going to take our yogurt, the liquid on the top as well. That's just whey. It's separated from the yogurt. And we're going to mix it in here very gently. You don't want to whisk real hard or anything. You just want to gently mix that in there. Since I'm holding this phone with one hand, I am going to mix that in and I'll be right back. Alright, so we have got that yogurt put in there. I'm just gently stirring. You want it incorporated and mixed in there real well, but you don't want to stir it too much. Now, the reason why you want this to be between 100 and 110 degrees is that's the temperature that it needs to activate the cultures that's in the yogurt that you put in here in order for this to turn into yogurt. So, I think we got that incorporated. Let's go over here and get it put in the yogurt container. Alright, let's see if I can do this without making a mess. Alright. This foam will go down. I'm just mixing a wee little bit more to make sure that's all blended in well. Okay, now I am going to put this lid on. This is the container that I have because I actually have a yogurt maker, and all this is a container to keep this warm. So let me get this over here. There's my lentils and fenugreek that I have soaking to make sprouts out of. Okay, so I've got that in there. Now, if you're lucky enough to have a yogurt maker, you probably already know how to make this yogurt like this, but maybe not. I just actually started using this probably about 6 months ago. So, you don't have a yogurt maker? No problem at all. Come right over here and I'll show you what else to do. Okay, so you don't have a yogurt maker. No problem whatsoever. Get you some glass jars. It can be this size, it can be quart size, it can be even smaller than that. I mean, you could even use a leftover pickle container or a glass mayonnaise jar, whatever you have. You're going to turn your stove on, your oven, not the stove top, but you're going to turn your oven on to the lowest temperature that it will go. Let it heat up to about 125 degrees and turn it off. Then turn your oven light on. Put your yogurt in your. Well, shit. Anyways, I'll have to get that in a minute. Put your yogurt in your glass jars. That was definitely a blooper, but I'll leave it in here because y'all can get a good laugh out of it. Anyway, put your yogurt in your glass jars. After you've turned your oven off for heating up to 125 degrees, turn it off. Turn your oven light on. Put your yogurt in your glass jars. Put lids on them, and then you cover it up with like a dishcloth or dish towel, and that's optional. You don't have to if you don't want to. And just put it into your oven. Let it set overnight, or at least 4 to 6 hours. Now, with my yogurt maker, it says 4 to 6 hours. I usually let mine go for like 12 hours. Because I like mine really, really thick, like Greek yogurt. The thicker that it is, the more that I like it. So, once again, if you don't have this yogurt maker, just use your glass jars inside your oven, heated to 125. And once you heat it to 125, make sure you turn it off. So, but leave your oven light on. And then, the longer you let it go, the thicker it's going to get. And remember, if you don't add the non-fat powdered milk, then it's going to be even thinner. So I'll show you a picture of what this looks like when it's done. I usually let mine, like I say, go about 12 hours because I like it super thick. I used to let it go 15, but the last time I let it go 15, it had wee little, like, lumps in it, and they said that's just some kind of separation. I researched online, but I just didn't like it having those little lumps like that in there, so I try not to let it go over 12 hours. Now, it will thicken more while it's in the refrigerator. Now, since this is unsweetened yogurt, you can use it for sour cream. If you want cream cheese, take some cheesecloth, put your homemade yogurt in the cheesecloth, let it drain, and then put some weight on top of it. You have homemade cream cheese. And you just save quite a bit. You know, sometimes, yeah, we can get this stuff on sale, but think about it, you know. You're making it homemade, you know exactly what's in there. You know, there's no additives, there's no preservatives or anything in there. Now, when you get done with this, don't forget to save a half a cup of your yogurt out and keep it in the refrigerator for starter for your next batch of yogurt. So, I hope y'all have enjoyed this video, and hopefully some of you will try some homemade yogurt. I personally like it just as good as store-bought because, like I said, I know what's in it. I'm all about, if I can make something at home and there's no additives and I know where it came from, what's in it, I'm all about making it. And it's super easy and it's really affordable. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, why do I keep saying the same thing over and over? Sorry. Anywho, if you live if you live in a small town, big town, wherever you may live, yogurt prices here where I live for this size of container is probably about between $4 and $5 maybe. So I just made that for, I mean, less than a couple bucks really, because the milk was like $2 and something for a whole gallon, and then I had the powdered milk on hand. I did buy that thing of yogurt, which I usually use my homemade yogurt, but I hadn't made any for several weeks, so I went ahead and grabbed one at the store so I could show you guys what you would need to start out with. So I hope you enjoy, and until next time, I will see you all later. Bye.